It's that show, Dom.
That show, Adam.
We're back again, 2024, two Detroit Nerds. We're at it this season. It's a cold one here in Detroit. I can't go outside, Dom.
I have to go outside, unfortunately.
I'm not.
Not that I want to.
I'm working from home. I'm taking sick days.
Yes.
It's a fucking tundra out there.
And I would say that's putting it lightly, bro. I mean, if I go outside as well equipped as I feel as though I am, and my skin just feels prickly, itchy, I can feel the coldness in my bones. It's like, these are like death conditions is what I call them.
Bro, I was going from my car to the Costco front door through the parking lot at like 10 a.m. today with Allie. I was pushing a cart, so my hands were exposed, like gripped like this. I looked when I got inside, bro. My hands were bleeding because they got so dry. Like the cold weather, like literally shocked my skin so much that it dried it out and broke it into the point where it was bleeding, bro.
That is absolutely terrible. And see if you can sue Costco for that.
Nah, we should.
I should have a hall to walk through.
Straight up.
That's heated.
They should have one of those little tunnels that they do between the buildings in Detroit.
Yes.
Yeah, they should have that in every building all the time, everywhere in Michigan.
I mean, especially a I would imagine by now, $1 billion company like Costco. Like, you guys should spend that money. Do it. Do what's right.
Yeah, nah, I think all companies should have like a federal subsidy that makes them have to spend, construction money on making it so that I can get from my car to the building without experiencing the fucking cold.
They got to do that.
But yeah, this is all new for me, man. I'm what, 2 years into living in Michigan,
yes,
so I'm getting used to this crazy ass transition from it being a fucking beautiful summer forest land, in the July, August months, to turning into
depths of fucking Antarctica,
a place that looks like there's never been a green plant ever.
And it's crazy the process that it goes through as well. Like, I've lived in Michigan my whole life, right? Experienced damn near 30 winters now. Still feels like a new one every time with some of this shit. The way that snow hit us Friday.
Yeah.
If you're not here, I'm glad you didn't have to go anywhere. Not saying this would have been you in the case, but if you're not from here, bro, you might not make it home that day. On a day like that.
Funny story. I had my guy, one of my close friends that I hadn't seen in a while. He's also friends with my sister. He's from Angola, Africa. Shouts out to John Norman.
Okay, shouts out John.
He's from Angola, and he was living in South Africa at the time, but he wanted to come check out the States because he wanted to see if there was a possibility for him to move here.
For sure.
So fast forward, long story short, he does live here now.
Okay.
But when he first came, he was like, oh, I'm going to come visit you and Rakaya in Detroit in December.
Okay.
This was last year. Do you remember what happened in December in Detroit?
For you?
Do you remember? No. Do you remember what the weather was like here in December in Detroit? There was a huge fucking snowstorm last year.
Oh, it just so happened to be around the time he came. Yeah,
it was 2 days after Christmas.
Yeah, I do actually remember that because I was heavily petitioning to get work off, couldn't get it off. I remember. I definitely remember that shit.
So he thinks, he's like, hey, I've never experienced snow. I know Michigan's going to be cold. What should I expect? And I was like, because at the time it was a pretty mild winter up till that point. And I was like, it'll probably get cold at night, but make sure you have a jacket. But it's not going to snow yet. It's still December. It probably doesn't start snowing until January. He was there for 1 day, and then the next day, it dumped snow. We're driving down to downtown Detroit because he had to go deposit money at the Guardian building because that was the only Bank of America that was open at the time. So he has to deposit money that day for some long other story reason. But we're driving into downtown Detroit after a snowstorm. There's fucking turned over trucks on the side of the road. There's cars on fire. It looks like a fucking bomb went off. Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
I thought we were war torn by that point.
This man
what do you guys got going on?
This man left and went back to Africa. He was like, I've had enough of America. I'll come back here at a better time.
Dude, I thought you were out to get him.
Yeah, he was like, y'all were lying to me. Detroit, he didn't. I mean, he likes Detroit, but he did not fuck with the weather.
This ain't it. I get it, bro. Like I said, I've lived here my whole life. I understand. There are times if I feel like that and I'm 30 years deep in this bitch, somebody coming on the first day, I would be surprised if they ever came back, if I'm being real with you.
Straight up. Yeah, it was funny though, because we were trying to walk through. We were in Hamtramck. His Airbnb was in Hamtramck.
Okay.
And we were like, he was trying to do something where he was trying to he couldn't use his card because he's, fucking from another country. So he had to take out cash. And we're going to different ATMs in Hamtramck to try to take out cash with his fucking African credit card. And bro, you don't realize like how cold it gets. Like you're just walking one block.
Yeah.
One block is fucking freezing. You almost die by the time you get to the next convenience store, and then his fucking card wouldn't work at the ATM, so we have to go. Worse. So then we have to go to the other convenience. We were walking in the worst fucking weather ever. It was nuts.
That sucks. Dude.
Shouts out to John. I know he watches the show.
John, yeah, bro. Glad you're. You said he's here now.
Yeah, he lives in Lewiston, Maine now. You know, he's not in Michigan.
Okay.
He figured out how to emigrate here.
We'll have to get a follow up with him to find out how he feels about where he's at now.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, he's gonna be on the show for sure.
Good.
But yeah, it's been since the weather's hit us pretty hard and we've been kind of indoors. It's been a pretty heavy anime video games kind of couple of weeks.
I've actually been really into Call of Duty as of late.
Okay, is that because I sauced you up completely?
Nah.
Is that because I humiliated you in the game that you claim to play? Is it because I 1v1 pistoled you to the point where you were like, yo, Adam, I don't think I've actually ever played video games before.
You see, guys, Adam has this unspoken segment he likes to run through where it's just like complete lies to see who we can weed out and see who's going to believe this blasphemous words that leave this man's mouth.
It's not. You know what's crazy is normally I do cap. I cap a lot. I'm a capper.
Sir cap a lot.
But here's the thing. Did I or did I not?
You did not sauce me.
Did I or did I not beat you?
You merely, you beat me.
2 games of Call of Duty, 1v1. We were not playing against teams. It wasn't anything like that. It was 1v1 in a small match.
I said that. I admitted that to you that day. Yeah, you won that match, that set of rounds.
Okay,
you won that, and then now if we're getting into this, we have to look at what we looked at. Now, did you or did you not set up the rules and what we were going to be playing by?
So for everyone listening, I want you guys to tell me in the comments if this is how men play 1v1. Pistols only, 3 attachments, shipment.
No.
If that is not how you play Call of Duty,
it was 4 attachments.
Me know
he's already capping.
In the comments. It was, okay, what was it, 4? 4 attachments? Okay, sorry. It was 4 attachments. Yeah. No. Definitely crucify me because I got 1 attachment off. Yeah. 4 attachments.
He needs it.
Pistols only, shipment. If that is not how you're supposed to knuckle up on Call of Duty, tell me where I'm going wrong. Let me know in the comments.
It's not, bro, because I'm telling you right now, there is no specified weapon set. When people do 1v1s, right, they run it both ways. They'll run, you get to make up the rules and the conditions, because that's exactly, you came to me exactly like that.
Yeah.
You said, do this, pick this map, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
But the reason why I did that because you were willing to take that because you were so confident that you would beat me. Yes. No. This is the folly of Dom, ladies and gentlemen, is that you didn't realize that I'd been gaming COD heavy.
Bro,
you thought you were going to dust me, so you didn't even listen to what my specs were, and you took the bet, and you lost.
Right. And then when you did me the honors of respecting the same thing, and we did it by my speculation and my rules, what happened then?
Well, you see, the map Rust is for people that wear capris. So, Dom, you were using the map. What was the map you were using?
You've never seen me wear capris in your life.
But I mean, come on. Yeah. Guys, come on. I mean, this guy. Yeah.
I mean, that's fine because, I would rather have that speculation or stereotype as opposed to, like, a guy that's wearing, like, Thrasher.
I've never worn Thrasher in my entire life.
Louis, like Amiri jeans.
I've never worn Amiri
like
jeans.
That, I've never capris because all I can do for capris is pull my joggers up a little bit. Bam, they're like capris, but it's more accepted these days. Whereas
I don't wear
Chrome Heart.
I don't wear Chrome Hearts.
If we could,
never
guys,
worn a
one day,
single.
We're gonna take a camera and go through Adam's.
Please, you could do it right now. You won't see one of those brands.
Back to what we were originally talking about, the Call of Duty. Yeah, Adam beat me with pistols. I'll give him that all day. I also admitted to him that day, pistols are my worst weapon to use in Call of Duty. Now, when I didn't play by something that I even use a lot, right? It's something I minimally use. Me and him, same exact weapon, same attachments. So there's no advantage there, right or wrong. Was there any advantage that I had over you with my rules or my standards?
But there wasn't any advantage. I don't use that. By the way, I don't use that.
I'm asking. I'm honestly asking as somebody.
No,
that
there
wants
wasn't.
To make sure so it wasn't unfair. Right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Adam got waxed, guys. That's all I was trying to get.
Adam got waxed way worse
than I got
waxed. He played Rust, which we already know. People that are on HRT play Rust, We know that people that are, getting hormone replacement therapy, they're on Rust.
Right.
Like that's kind of the
and
the
then
hangout
now
spot.
to fit with, the times more, people who are already fully through that transition are the shipment players. And that's why I was so willing, because I've been becoming an accepting person these days, especially the last 2 years. So I'm like, you know what? Let me give them that. Let me go ahead and,
everyone
run
knows,
the
anybody that's a real COD fan knows shipment
So
is
what
the
about
only
1v1 snipers? Because that was by a landslide the most used format for doing 1v1.
You're right.
And I only didn't offer that up because I'll be honest with you, none of my snipers are past like level 3 or 4.
Yeah, I don't snipe either. Yeah. That was one of them. And also there's a specific map you're supposed to do that on, which I don't believe is in MW3. There's like a MW2 map.
No, it was Rust. 1v1 snipers was always Rust.
Was it Rust? Yeah. Okay, I'm wrong then. Okay.
Because at the time, Rust, I don't know if shipment was on the original Modern Warfare 2, if they ever brought it back. I know it first started in Modern Warfare, the original, and then I don't remember. I'm wrong, bro. Maybe I'm wrong about that, bro. I don't know, but either way, it was definitely Rust because that was the smallest map at the time on Modern Warfare 2. And then I think after that was when they started doing the constant bringbacks of the exact terminal and you know what I mean, Rush, shipment, all these raps. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, bro. I mean, I don't remember it quite correctly, but again, I could be wrong.
The point is you accepted a challenge from me, thinking that you were gonna win. You were confident. You were sure that this would be easy for you,
right?
And I dusted you twice.
That doesn't matter though.
No, it does.
How? So okay, here's the thing you're not understanding though. Here's why when people challenge me, because I always take it. Hold on, I always take the other road because this is how it always ends up being, right? If I don't take the challenge, then it's like, oh, he's scared, right?
Which I would have said.
Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
But then I do take the challenge under your conditions, right? If I know
those are not my specific conditions, these are like.
So why was there no other conditions?
Regular standing on business.
I understand. Why did you not have any other condition besides what you did?
Because that's what, at least from how I used to play COD, like back when it was Xbox 360.
Difference, right?
That was the norm. That was the norm of 1v1
condition.
It's not that, but that's the thing is that if you're just good at COD, here's and I've said this to you before off camera. If you can't beat me in pistols on shipment, you're not good. You're not. If you can't beat me on pistols.
Okay, that's fine. So let's say
on the easiest
so we can actually run this through in different ways to test this, right?
Okay.
If pistols are the only gun that you beat me with on shipment and I beat you with every single other class, I'm still not good.
No. If you beat me with every single other class, obviously you're better.
Because I would.
You wouldn't.
I would.
Okay.
Because
so then let's do incendiary shotguns 1v1 after this podcast.
Yeah.
We'll live stream it so everybody can see it.
And
we'll put wagers on it.
What we seen last time.
Yeah.
We might live stream it, guys.
The live streaming is coming soon. We tested it last night, and I do need to get a hardline connection over here. It's just one of those things. So you'll have to hold on for that. But trust me, for now, once we're all set up, it'll be probably episode after episode of me just saucing Dom up, him having to like reconsider his entire existence, him talking to me about, hey man, I used to think I played video games until I saw you.
No, because I never said that, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of how that's kind of what he was saying to me last time we were.
No, Adam just knows if he can't set it up, it's not gonna go his way, and that's fine. Because
if you
had
chose
in this
any
situation,
other map besides Rust and whatever what was it, the Rival 11 or the Rival 19?
But I told you why I didn't pick something that was super good because why would I do it? How was that fun? That's like if I tell you 1v1 me with a grenade launcher.
No, not with a grenade.
That's crazy OP.
Just MCWs, no.
I didn't think you wanted to use ARs. I thought SMGs would have been better because it's more of a challenge from a distance with an SMG.
It's very true.
And that's the only reason because an AR you can use up close,
right,
and from somewhat of a distance. I figured if we were fucking each other up from across the map, I was like, okay, this requires more from us.
That's true. That's true.
The only reason I did it. We can. I mean, it doesn't matter. We can set up multiple ones. We can do that.
We'll figure it out. But one last thing I have to say about video games, man. Isn't it crazy how there's no other video games besides Call of Duty?
It's sad. It's not even crazy. It's sad.
No, there's no other video games, guys.
That's what our standard is. Like, this is what we have to consistently play to get any enjoyment out of a video game.
So it's like this, right? The price point for, new gen consoles, right, were $400 or $500 when they came out, right? If I was somebody that bought it at launch, I would be driving a truck through the front door of Microsoft.
100%.
Absolutely. There's no games.
None.
Next gen, like, how, all right, so when the Xbox 360 first came out, do you remember there were like 3 big titles that were specifically made for there was like Gears of War was one of them.
Gears of War. They had that Cameo game, I think it was called.
Something like that. And then there was one other one. I forgot the name. But they were like big titles.
They had like Perfect Dark. They had a good amount of exclusives that dropped.
Yeah, exclusives that were made specifically with those new engines for a new console. What we're having now is like these carryover games that could still be Xbox One games. There's really nothing next gen about it
at all,
except for maybe it's in HD
optimized
and it's 60 frames per second. I'm sorry, but that doesn't justify a $400 purchase.
And that's that's their selling point. That actually gets a lot of people.
It's wild. I think this really highlights that we're in this unprecedented time in gaming where the standards have become so low because people don't expect much more from what they're already getting. People are already so bought in to whatever pay scheme they're trapped in to buy merch or not
cosmetics,
not merch, cosmetics and skins
and fucking weapons and
camo.
Shit.
So they're caught in whatever web of lies with whatever studio has trapped them, and they don't even know how to dream anymore. Like that's where we are.
It's like their brain is just linked to the fucking Microsoft server, and they're just feeding us what they want us to fuel on, and it works, bro. I mean, look at the timeline. We don't get masterpieces that often anymore. I'm not even saying we need to be getting them every year and whatnot, but we know the answer. Of course, I mean, you were gonna say the same thing, but like, what is an actual like truly set in stone phenomenal game that we've played on the Xbox side? You know what I mean? We're not gonna obviously name any Sony.
Yeah, no.
We don't have it.
Like Microsoft exclusives. Besides,
it doesn't have to be a Microsoft exclusive. It just can't be a Sony exclusive.
Right.
That's not what we play.
Right.
Just an overall good game.
Yeah. Nothing.
It was Elden Ring was the only one.
Yeah, Elden Ring.
And I was gonna just not say it because me and you know that,
but I'm talking about in this new year coming out.
Oh, right now.
What do we have? Because Elden Ring came out like 3 years ago at this point.
Came out. It seems like that.
Yeah, or two years.
It's been 2. Yeah,
2 years. Yeah. So I mean, as much as I love Elden Ring, I'm sorry, but a game that's 2 years old is not going to hold me over.
It can't. Not until the DLC drops.
Console. Yeah, and of course, like there's more to explore with Elden Ring. It's an endless game. It's amazing, but I need another. I'm sorry. I need another shooter, man. I need another shooter.
You know what? Here's the thing. It's crazy you say that because I was just gonna say we might just be stuck thinking we need a new shooter, but maybe we need a new genre to take over and step in. And I don't know what's gonna be the next because really, really think about it. Shooters have never not been in style. Have never not been the end game, right? I mean, you can even look over the last 10, 15 years.
Right.
Countless Call of Duties, Fortnite, Apex, Battlefields, like all these games are doing it, and they've been doing it so consistently over these years that it's like, are they gonna come back? Are they gonna get back to that golden age? Are they gonna get back to that cream of the crop that they know they can make? My answer for that, yes. The only problem I have with it is when. We haven't gotten it. We haven't even come close to it, bro.
Check out how brainwashed we are, right? Like we think that they're giving us like an all right amount of games, right?
Yeah.
Like we're like, it's just because we have like a certain standard for Call of Duty, but we're not trying out other games. We're hearing that all in our heads right now, right?
Yeah.
Yo, check this out. When was the last Tom Clancy game? Remember how there used to just be shooters?
Oh my God, bro! And then it was just so many.
There used to just be a shooter that you would get that, like, probably didn't have that big of an online, side of it.
You didn't need it.
You didn't need it because you were just gonna play a cool storyline, and then maybe there's a co-op that you can play with your boys.
Think about
what happened to games like that.
Think about like how you're right because it's not even a matter of them consistently releasing. It's not a matter of saturation. Like for the example of Tom Clancy, look at what we had. We had Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. We had The Division, Wildlands, Breakpoint, Rainbow Six, Splinter Cell. Like those were all separate genres in one series of Tom Clancy games that all were consistently good for a long time.
Huge
and they were
fan
always
bases.
being released.
Always being released. Where's the new Splinter Cell for exclusive for Xbox X and Series X and Series S? Where is that? Where's the new? I know they're coming out with a new Division. I'm a big Division fan. Oh yeah, a Division Heartland. That's coming out. That's going to be dope.
I haven't heard shit about that. Yeah, I need to do my research.
Division Heartland's going to be cool. There's also a mobile game Division, which I don't know why they even wasted their time with that.
Sounds like a terrible mess.
Also, this is something studios need to understand. Mobile games are never going to take off in America.
No.
That's a Chinese thing. That's for Chinese people.
There's a Chinese and like a South American
to do
thing
Chinese stuff. Yeah. Let them do that, and
yeah, because I don't know anybody here.
We're not doing that. Yeah. But the Heartland for consoles and PC is supposed to be really good. I loved Division 2. A lot of people who like Division 1 didn't like Division 2.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, because I love Division 2.
I know why. It wasn't. I guarantee you. Let me say this, because I'm a victim of doing. I do this all the time. I can guarantee by me watching videos I've seen on the Division, I know it was a very good game.
Yeah, it was set.
Here was the downfall. And we have talked about this briefly. The Division 1, that, to me, in my opinion, that was the next online shooter that was going to take over, was the Division, because it was the first game that had that so mysterious, so threatening presence of the dark zone, which we would find would be the dark zone, right? So the story mode, the campaign was great by itself. A lot of exploration. It's the perfect looter shooter. You know what I mean? Like you have so much to look forward to, and so much that they're actually fulfilling with the gameplay and all the objectives, whatever it is you're doing, right? And then you throw on top of that a multiplayer, and we have a mode of its own, the dark zone. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So you get into these areas of playing online, and you can just go on your outskirts of the town, you're fine, do a little couple missions, go get you a little bit of loot, whatever you want. Then you throw in the dark zone, it's high risk, high reward, right?
Yeah.
So playing that, getting engaged with that, especially when you have a team to run with, you're coming across not only NPCs, you're coming across other online players as well. This is a whole new category now. This isn't like Warzone. This isn't like multiplayer. This is now different.
Yeah.
Completely, right? And they did so many things right leading up to hackers. Hackers are what ruined the name of the Division, I feel like, for a majority of the player base, because Ubisoft was not doing a thing about them for so long. And it was highly exploited. This was not like every 20 matches I play, one or two people are hacking. It was like, nah, bro, you enter the dark zone, niggas are taking literal 0 damage from your top tier weapons you have. Yeah. I'm shooting you in the head multiple times. Your health isn't moving an inch.
Yeah, you're
something's
hacking.
going on, and then you're just spraying, spraying and praying for me, and I'm just dead in like 3-4 shots. Something's going on.
I can't tell you how many shootouts in the dark zone went exactly like this. Like, I get my best gun out, take a perfect shot to the head, take like 1 point off someone, then they just run up, like they fucking dodge roll, run up to me and just spray me once, and I'm dead.
You're done. And in some cases, that's really how it was happening. It wasn't no hacks and plastic.
Yeah.
But once you got to the point where it was so blatant that somebody was hacking, and then it seemed like that started to happen so often, it was hard to tell the difference. And that's when a game, to me, is ruined.
Yeah, well, because if I was hacking, that's what I would do with the Division, is the best loot comes from the dark zone. Yeah. You fucking God mode yourself and go into the dark zone and just clean up. I'm sure that's fun as shit, but it is. But it destroys the game.
It destroys the game, and then where's your dignity going?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It's in the garbage, but
yeah. But
let's get off this
video
this shooter rage.
Yeah.
And get into something else.
So
let's slide over into the anime side of the world.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to be deep diving pretty heavy into anime this year.
Of course.
It's going to be a big year for
We're
anime.
excited for this shit.
But I was watching some YouTube videos about like what some of the bigger animes last year were, and I was kind of just trying to double check if I'd seen most of them. Right. Some of them I'd seen, a lot of them I hadn't. One of them that came up was a title that you mentioned to me, which was Hell's Paradise.
Absolutely.
And then I started watching that today. Amazing fucking show, man.
First question I got off the jump. How much did you watch?
Only 2 episodes.
2 episodes. Yeah. Okay, good. That's actually the perfect amount, I feel like, for me to ask some of these questions. I want to ask you. First and foremost, what are your like first takes on just seeing these first 2 episodes? What were some dead giveaways you could bring up some main points that did it for you?
It reminded me what works in anime like that. Number one, I need to have a character whose past I'm interested in.
Yes.
I need to have a character who, and this is the easiest way to do it, is a revenge story or a retribution story, right? But I see very few anime doing it in a way that's genuinely interesting, or at least a way that may have been tread before, but at least I know the beats are going to be done right by just how the character is introduced, the level of mystery that they're putting on the character's background from the jump, you can kind of get a feeling that it's going to be handled right.
Yeah.
And Hell's Paradise just had the confidence of being an anime that I knew they were going to do the right things the right way.
Yes.
It's not like it's a show I've never seen.
Of
like,
course,
no. I've seen versions of this kind of show before, but the way you know a show's going to do it well is like you can kind of tell within the first couple episodes, first couple of beats, and Hell's Paradise hit all those beats perfectly.
And that's it's funny because that is actually a very practice rule that people live by within anime. It's like from my understanding, the majority of people go by like a 3 to 4 episode thing. Like if it's not grasping you by then, you can miss out on something. But if it's not grasping you by then, it's kind of it's kind of the next, you know. But getting back to Hell's Paradise, this is like a very good 12 episode season of anime. Because although I am a fan of these 12 episode seasons, I would probably prefer the 24 episode style. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these other shows that do it that way, I feel like 24 for at least most shonen. Let me say that for most shonen, that is the perfect amount of episodes to get everything out that you should get out. With it being adapted into anime. Whereas Hell's Paradise, I feel like being watched at all, it is a little more graphic than your typical shonen, with the exception of like Jujutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan, let's say. But it does get a little more dark and in depth. But I feel like they do it so well within these 12 episodes because without ruining anything, they give you the perfect amount of information to keep you guessing and wondering what is and what could come next. And I feel like that sense of mystery always helps out with the duration of a show because that's like one of the main interest points that keeps you with like a brand new world being introduced to you. World building, the kind of creatures present, humanoids, whatever else comes, power system, like all these different things definitely come into play with this style of anime. And I think this show does it very well, again, without giving too much away. It gives you just the perfect amount.
And there's that phrase I keep hearing you say, like perfect amount. Like there's a restraint that the show shows, and I don't know who made it. I have to look up more about the production of it.
I think Mappa did Hell's Paradise.
You can just tell there's veterans behind this. You can just tell that this is in the right hands. The source material, the manga, wherever it came from, whoever took it into animation knows exactly what to do with it. And I'm along for the ride. Like I want to watch more. I want to have more to talk about with it because it's very rare. Usually when people show me a new show in today's day and age, like takes like 5 episodes for me to kind of like it, and then maybe by the end of the first season I'll say, hey, that was a pretty good show.
Get it by that
know, if it was good. And usually, you know, most modern animes wrap up pretty nicely.
Of course.
Right? So it's always like a pleasant watch, right? But it's been a long time since I've watched one episode. Fuck the full episode. 10 minutes into the first episode, and I'm just like, this is a legit anime. I'm watching the whole thing.
You know, it says a lot, bro. When you can recognize that, you almost can kind of tell. And I'm not really one to jump the gun, especially nowadays, but you can almost kind of tell right then and there, like, this is gonna be one of those shows. Like 100%. From that alone, if you can discern that, and then it's like, I'm sticking with it. So I get why. I'm glad that was one that you picked up, because that would have been one of my main ones that I would have said I think you should watch, especially out of the titles that dropped last year.
For sure. I've definitely decided that this is going to be a show I'm going to watch for the long haul. And I can tell why you recommended it to me, because it has that maturity that you don't see in a lot of newer anime. But it has that like new animation style, obviously, and a lot of production behind it. It's a Studio Mappa, of course. So it really was the kind of anime I want to see. Like you had a great, perfect recommendation for that.
I can't wait to follow back up on this, bro.
Tell them where they can find us. I'm just gonna.
You guys, we just made our new Twitch account. We are going to be live streaming, as Adam already mentioned. We're going to be doing plenty of things. We're going to be having watch episodes. We're going to have episodes of me and Adam 1v1ing, like he mentioned, multiple games, not just Call of Duty. We know everybody's sick of Call of Duty as well as we are. We are also on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all under the same handle, 2 Detroit Nerds. We're going to be coming at you guys this year with a lot of new content, great things you guys have and have not seen us do before. Whole bunch of guests. We're going to be doing new segments. You guys are going to see skits from us, all these things. Please don't ever forget, like, subscribe, follow, share, do all the above. You guys are going to see way more engagement and activity coming from us in this year 2024, and we're nothing but excited to be doing this for you guys. Honestly, we can't wait to get all this new content out for you guys. Please, like I said, subscribe, follow, share it with whoever. Get us out there.
It's all here, man. It's all here.
It's all here, bro. It always has been. You know, it's actually crazy. These people don't really know how much of a commitment and rough process we're going through for them. They don't know, like, it's been 4 or 5 months since we've had social interaction with the outside world. Like, they must not. We've been locked here.
Yeah. No, I think it's kind of important to remind people that, like, we are not allowed to leave. We have to keep doing the show. We have to keep making the content. You know, there's versions of us that are outside of these walls. They get to experience, you know, all of the good things that are going to come from this show. But the people that you're seeing right now talking, we don't get to experience that.
We don't get to do anything like that.
Literally just here every day, basically waiting to do this show. And when the camera turns off, we just sit here and wait till the next show.
Yeah, we literally, like, you see us in these seats right now. After we turn this camera off, by the time you guys see the camera turn back on, this is where we're stuck here.
We're literally going to just be sitting right here. But the other thing I was gonna kind of get into, I feel like generally with something like Crunchyroll, for new anime fans or people that want to experience anime for the first time, it's a very biased platform.
Man, it is.
Like, if I was somebody that genuinely, like, wanted to understand, you know, what the best, like, 3 animes were, right? And I went on Crunchyroll, I would think it was One Piece. I would think it was not even Naruto, Boruto. Do you know how much they spam that show on there?
I don't know why.
Fucking, and then probably Dragon Ball Z, right? Or what's another big one that's on Crunchyroll? It's just like
Demon Slayer, probably.
Demon Slayer.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just, it doesn't really, you know, when you think of, for at least for people our age, when you think of like a library of anime, right? You would expect it to kind of look a little bit different. Like, you'd expect kind of like the greats to be in front.
I was just gonna say those would never be the first ones.
Those would not be
those are lower on the list.
They could be like highlights, like, hey, new animes that are good, but they wouldn't be like pumped as like these are the greatest achievements of animation. You know, I think it's doing the young kids a disservice.
I'm very glad you brought that up, because as I was, you know, surfing the web the other day, I came across a lot of things that if you don't ever get another opinion on, you might stay biased to. But I realized, like, Demon Slayer being the title at question here, a lot of people in this thread I ended up coming across were just saying, like, Demon Slayer is kind of mid. The story is mid. Like,
I think you were the first person that said that to me, and I was like, that's so true.
It is true, because I love Demon Slayer. Let me get that out. I love Demon Slayer.
Me too.
It's a great show. It's, you know, it's on a good number on my list of some of my favorite shows, but at the same time, I can be realistic.
Yeah.
And the thing about Demon Slayer is it is, in a sense, carried by the animation, which is okay.
Right.
It's okay. Some shows stand out because of that. I'm okay with that. If you have a very good studio behind you doing things at a top tier level, that is obviously going to be what stands out for you over all of the things, right? But to come back to why I'm comparing your point to this is, let's say, you know, I'm young Johnny, 7 years old, just getting into anime, right? And just like you said, I get my parents to get me a Crunchyroll account. You know, they don't have too many restrictions because my parents are like, oh, it's just cartoons, whatever. Those are going to be a lot of the titles that you first come across. You're going to come across Boruto, you're going to come across Demon Slayer, and like One Piece, right? Now, One Piece being the exception here with what I'm going to say, but the other 2 titles, these are newer titles, and they're obviously from a time when animation is at a higher standard now, because these studios are making way more money than they ever have back then. Right,
100%.
So you're going to go and watch these shows and just think these are the best. Those are going to be imprinted upon your brain as your nostalgia reasons, your first entries into anime, right? Now you go back and you're at another age. Let's say you're now at 15 years old and you want to really go dive in and go see what, like, a lot of these titles you're subtly seeing put in on these lists or people's comments, whatever it is, and you go back and watch our golden age. You're not gonna have the appreciation that I feel like should be there. People are gonna say these are an opinionated topics, but they're not.
But
these
are
really
factual.
Not. These are factual at some point.
There's certain facts that need to be addressed. Like, I've got a younger cousin, I think he watches this show. If you're watching this, I am bringing this up right now.
Nice.
Who saw that he was into anime, and he told me he was watching One Piece, and he was a big One Piece fan. Then he told me he was a big Demon Slayer fan. And I was like, that's cool, man. Like, I was glad you're appreciating the genre. Let me show you the greatest anime of all time, Neon Genesis Evangelion. And he was like, yeah, I got like 2 episodes in, then I stopped watching it. And I'm like, why? And
you almost wanted to disown him as your cousin.
I was like, we were driving like on the highway, and there was like a rail like that would have dropped us like 30 feet into the ocean. And I was just looking at it like, oh really? You didn't want? You only watched 1 episode? But no, but his comment to me was that it looked too old. Like,
we have to accept this at some point, you know, because these newer generations were not made to understand what was the founding.
But see, I understand certain animes.
Yeah.
Certain like early episodes of Dragon Ball are too old.
Of course.
Like,
no, I get that.
You know what I mean? The animation's slow, the colors are dry, it's not engaging.
Yeah.
You know, I get that. But
Evangelion is not the case here. Yeah, it's not that. It isn't. And that's the thing I was trying to like get at, was that they feel like they're seeing the best of the best as it is, that they don't even give it the time to go back and watch something, like to understand, you know, you're going to watch most shows except for today's time. From then, the first few episodes, bro, they were at that time working with the budget that they had. And then clearly throughout the timeline of the show you're watching, you're going to see the production quality obviously increase. It's going to. Their budget now raises. Oh, we got 20 million people that viewed this. Oh, wow. Now money's coming. Now more investors are coming in. There's people that are going to back this, right? And I feel like to understand how anime got to where it did now with these newer shows, go back and watch those old shows, because some of them, I don't even hate to admit this, I love to admit this. Some of these older shows, when I see clips, they knock all this new shit out the water, bro. As good as you think this new shit is, because maybe the shading is done a little bit better, right? Or maybe the color scheme is a little bit better. The actual fluidness of some of these scenes you see in these old... I seen this clip of Ghost in the Shell the other day. Nothing of today even comes close to this one scene I was watching. It was about 2 minutes of one scene of a whole episode, right? To me, it was like, you know, I may switch which side I'm on at times, but I know deep down, like, bro, these were the best times. The late 90s, early 2000s, there was so much poured into these shows creatively and artistically that that's always going to be the golden age. We're never going to exceed that.
You'll never see that explosion of original creativity.
Yes.
You know, like, we'll in the future maybe get better production.
Of course.
We'll maybe get like better renditions of the same ideas, but we'll never get that period, that renaissance of just like new idea after new idea that's just so innovative. And I mean, the thing is like, I would still be open to seeing remakes. I would still be open to seeing. I like, you know how Disney movies now will just make the same movie every 10 years. Why don't you do that with fucking animes? I have no problem with seeing better animated versions of, like, you know, Cowboy Bebop, Ergo Prosi, fucking Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, that's just sitting there waiting to get redone.
Like, this is not fucking something you need to go sit down with a council of people and all come to an agreement. All the people that are the consumers in this, like, of this amount of fans of these people, we already fucking have made our minds up. This is what we want. Bring it here. Now, don't ask us no questions. Don't see how many different episodes it should be. Put the shit out. We're gonna like it as long as it's good.
But the question is, it like always comes back to, what is their reason for choosing the shows that they choose? Because I know right now, if I was a billionaire and I was like, hey, I want to buy the rights to FMA and make a sequel to FMA, it would be the biggest anime that released that season. If you wanted to do a sequel of Full Metal Alchemist, you could literally do it, and it would be the biggest anime ever.
Would.
So I don't see why they're not doing it. You know what I mean? Because it's like the money motivation is right there.
It should be. Yeah, you would imagine it is. Yeah. There's nothing stopping them outside of, I guess, stubbornness, or maybe like a power trip type of thing. We're just gonna do what the fuck we want. Fuck what anybody else says. That's what I think.
It could be that.
Yeah.
But guys, guess what? We're gonna stop here for the episode.
Yes.
Here's what's gonna happen for the rest of this year, and please bear with me. we're going to start making even more content than just this podcast. So if you want to hear more about what we think, or if you want to listen to more of this show, check out our live streams, check out our Instagram and our YouTube, and you'll find a lot of other exclusive content there. In fact, if you look hard enough, you might find the link to a paywall where you can find some other kind of content.
Yes.
It's content that's not necessarily appropriate for this platform that you're watching us on. But this will be episode first of the year 2024. First of the year,
bro. We're here.
I think that'll be the name of this episode, first of the year.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
As always,
check us out.
We'll see you guys.
You want to cut it, or you just want to keep? Yeah, let's cut.